If you are open to receiving a message, hang out with me for a little while, see how this makes you feel. I'm about to pull some cards. We are getting a general message, whatever wants to come out. Let's see what comes out. General message for whoever's watching this. Two cards in, I'm already rolling my eyes. Let's see. Let me not judge too quickly. Whoops. Yep. Oh. I'm rolling my eyes for a reason. I'm rolling my eyes because I'm tapping into this energy, and this energy is a very annoyed energy. I can sense it. It's a very frustrated energy. Death card at the bottom of the deck. Don't block your manifestations with blocks that you create out of frustration. Just because what you are trying to attract isn't visible, isn't tangible in your life, don't use that as ammunition against the plan, whatever that means. I'm getting this very annoyed and like, if you're thinking about giving up on something, I'm being aware of my wording because I don't want people to use this as fuel for their toxic behaviors or attachments. But if there is something that you actually want, but you desire it, but you're considering giving up on it, take a moment to think about why you're considering giving up. Because what I'm seeing is somebody creating a self-fulfilling prophecy here. Self-fulfilling prophecy in a negative sense, where you are deciding that something isn't going to work for you, and then it doesn't work. And so you get your way. But if you had changed your focus at the beginning of the reading, we saw the Sun card at the bottom of the deck. If you had changed your focus a little bit, I think you wouldn't have, like, somebody has a tunnel vision right now and is only considering the things in ways in which something won't work out. We have the Seven of Wands, we have the Ten of Swords, we have the Three of Swords, and at the end of that row, we have the Magician. I'm going to pull another row. With the Death card, it's like running into your own trap and then being like, ah, see, I knew it was never going to work. Because you ran into your own trap. Have the bravery to believe in something. Again, do not use this to suit your needs in affirming your unhealthy attachments, please. This isn't necessarily about love, but it's also not necessarily not about love. So this can be many things, whether you envisioned yourself sticking to something for the new year, or whether this is a New Year's resolution, or whether this is a hope, a dream that you have for yourself, but there's something where you're like, clearly I can't do it. And it's like, no, actually that is not clear, and that has not been proven. The only thing that you're proving is that you get your way. So maybe change your way. Yeah, your will is so strong. Your will is so strong, and yet I think you make yourself a victim of circumstance. And that's not to say that you aren't, because I'm sure there are many situations where we are a victim of our circumstance. or a survivor of our circumstance. Yeah. Oof. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of actually achieving? Where are you afraid of actually outgrowing comfort? Where are you limiting yourself because whatever is beyond your boundary is scary because it's unknown? You need to get more clear. You are set up. We have the Six of Wands at the bottom of the deck. You are set up to get your way. You need to become ultra clear about your way. You need to become so clear on what you want and what you don't want so that you can move in that direction. Because right now you're manifesting from a place of confusion, and I think your manifestation powers are just kind of going haywire, and because you're not clear on what you want or why you want it, you might be manifesting in the wrong things. You might be calling in the wrong things. However, what's meant for you won't pass you by, right? But a lot of times if we are attracting from a place that is misaligned with who we actually are, we attract in lessons. We attract in things that correct us, that set us straight. And what I'm seeing here is you attracting things that aren't what you desire. So then what's the point? Like, just focus on what you do desire, because you're so focused on the outcomes and the negative aspects of not getting your desires. You're actually just kind of creating like little storm clouds. And I it's easy for me to say because I see it right in front of me, right? But I understand that it's not as easily lived, and I understand that it's not as easy to be like, well, okay, I guess I'm just going to change my mind, especially with all the discourse that we have around lucky girl syndrome and things like that, and being delusional. And there is something to be said about being rational in your manifestations, but there's something about you where it's like you're too rational. You're too limiting. And yet the part of you that wants to create, that wants to outstretch beyond those boundaries is incredibly powerful. So you're really kind of like keeping part of yourself very boxed in. We have the King of Wands, we have the Page of Wands underneath the 7 and the 10 of Swords. Underneath the 3 of Swords, we have the High Priestess, and then we have the 7 of Cups under the Magician. And the 6 of Wands at the bottom of the deck, and the 8 of Wands. This is just you working out some kinks when it comes to your manifestation powers. I'm going to pull some quick oracle cards to round this message out, but this is a powerful message, and I feel like it can really like be applied in a lot of ways. This bleeds into everything. We have the Tower. We have the Tower. We have the Tower because you're just, and I don't say this with any judgment, trust me. I can identify, but it's like you built a tower haphazardly because you didn't trust in the process of building it slowly. And it's like, I don't know, maybe you felt a storm brewing and you're like, as long as I have any roof over my head, that's better than nothing. And in reality, it's like it almost makes it more dangerous because the tower is built in a way where that storm will knock it over in a way where it's really, it puts you in danger instead of protecting you, which is the opposite of what you wanted, right? And that's because that fear of like, it's coming, I gotta like not focus, instead of being present and being like, okay, I'm just gonna focus on the task at hand and do it as good as possible so that I can be as safe as possible. It was just like, what's the quickest way to do this? And that happens a lot in our manifestations, especially once we start experimenting with manifesting things. And when we recognize, oh, this might actually work for me, we get so impatient, especially, I was going to say, especially us humans. I'm like, I don't know who I'm comparing us to, but I mean, especially in the material experience that we're having, it's like we won't believe it until we see it in front of us, until we can touch it. And there's something here about like bringing patience into your manifestation practice, because patience actually fuels it and it makes it actually more powerful. And you'll get more of what you want, not just what you think you want. I don't know, there's just something about like asking for something. We have rise up. And I like how there's something here about asking for something, and it's like you don't actually want the thing, you want the feeling that it gives you. So Spirit wants you to focus on what else, how other, in which other ways can you receive that feeling that will be more long-term instead of just like instant gratification. Look at the colors here, yellow and orange, solar plexus energy. I'm going to roll my dice. I'm trying to cut these a little bit shorter. We have the 12th house, we have Mars, and we have Scorpio. Scheming. Not like in a negative sense. I think this just has a lot to do with overcoming your shadow attributes that are like keeping you blocked, overcoming the things that you don't address, overcoming the needs that we tuck away in corners because dealing with them right now is too much, and yet leaving them unattended is gonna come around and bite you in the ass because it bleeds into your manifestations. And so unearthing that Scorpio energy and working through it, somebody here needs to do some shadow work. That's actually been a theme today that I've been seeing pop up. Somebody needs to do some shadow work. Not like a ton, but just sit with where is this defensive energy coming from? Where is this defeatist energy coming from? Where is this idea of like nothing's gonna work out and maybe I deserve this pain? Like there's some skewed expectations here. Where is that coming from? Explore that. That is shadow work. Together we can transcend our individual limitations. Yeah, there's also something here about not having to do it on your own. Because this card is women supporting women. Which is just like kind of also asking you to really take care of your feminine energy. This has been a huge theme in my readings lately, in the energy lately. I feel like we're really being called to focus a lot on our feminine energies. Doesn't matter how you choose to express your gender, you do have feminine energy within you. Responding, not reacting. The only control we have is in how we respond to the hand that we are dealt. And this is part of the issue in this reading, is that this energy is showing me that you, not just that we're having an issue with reacting instead of responding, but we are actually, I don't want to say overreacting because that's a little bit triggering, but we are reacting before anything even happens. And so therefore we create a scenario that leaves room for that to happen. But we have the Six of Wands at the bottom of the deck. You are working on this. You're trying to figure this out. I love that. Where are we headed? We got 2 cards. Yes! I asked, where are we headed? We got the Six of Swords and we got the King of Cups. Taking control over your negative emotions, all of your emotions really. The Eight of Swords at the bottom of the deck, taking control and freeing yourself from those things that are like keeping you limited, and trusting yourself on an emotional level. That's where you're headed. Self trust. I love this. This is a beautiful reading. I'm going to leave it there.